Hey, y'all. Congratulations. Sonia, can you start for us? Can you take us through that last possession where you hit the three and I saw
Recording in progress.
You were raising your hand even before the ball got kicked into Shakira.
Yeah, I mean, I saw that I had a mismatch. I think Hines Allen was guarding me, and I kind of figured she was going to help on that drive, either if Slim drove or if Kira rolled, and Slim kind of knew it too. So, yeah, I mean, I just had a feeling I was going to be open, and Kira had a great pass. She saw that my man helped, kicked it out, and I was happy I made it. But yeah, I kind of figured she was going to help it.
What was that moment like for you? A game winner, capping a career high 27 points. Seemed like you were feeling it a little bit today.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great feeling. I was mad at myself because I thought that I could have ended it at regulation with my missed free throw. So it's kind of just happy that I got that one. You know, I ended it. I didn't want to go into another overtime.
Neither did we. And one last, Sydney. Can you take us through that last one also? Is that what you drew up? Was it, because it seemed like when Shakira caught it, she immediately turned to kick. So I don't know if it was drawn up to kind of get Shakira a look at the basket, or was it kind of drawn up hoping to get that kick out?
You know, it was a set that we played around with during the game, so it's somewhat familiar to them. I think it was late second half that we started doing that action. But what I think it showcases more than anything is Kira's growth and development. I mean, just hands down. I mean, like Kiki, they're both, you know, really, really good in the paint. They're taking their time, they're reading defenses, and they're finding teammates, both of them. Kira in this instance. So more than any kind of play call, I think it does demonstrate the coaching and coachability of Shakira and our young group to make that one more, to make that heads-up play and to find an open teammate, and you can really build on that. So it's just wonderful recognition by her.
Kiki, for you, what was going through your head? You know, buzzer goes off. I saw you go lift Sonia in there. What's going through your head for her shot, and then after the buzzer goes off when you go get her?
Well, like Sonia said, I did not want to double overtime. I didn't have it in me. I also had 5 fouls. But I'm just so happy for Sonia. I think she's just stayed consistent, and I'm glad that she had the opportunity. And of course, she's always going to take the opportunity. But I'm glad that she's getting her recognition. She's getting her flowers, and she's someone that is just super selfless. And for me, when Sonia wins, I win, and that's how I truly feel about her. So I'm just happy that she was able to end the game for us and kind of just cap that off as a rookie. We rely on her a lot, and she's just super composed throughout the whole entire game. She's talking to me. But yeah, I think if anything, I'm just glad that we got this W, especially after playing Atlanta and we didn't have the greatest taste in our mouth. So yeah.
Sydney, for you, with Slim in a little bit of foul trouble, it looked like Sonia took on a little more defensively, shifting over with the matchup. How impressive is it to you to be able to ask her to do that and then still have her shooting whatever it was, I think 9 for 13 from the field, being really efficient offensively?
Yeah, I mean, you and I talked before the game, and I just think that Sonia truly sees herself as a two-way player, and it's not good enough for her to just score points and help us out or find a teammate, make some passes. She really wants to be a two-way player and a true defender, and she is. It just starts with her desire, her pursuit. We're adding some things coaching-wise for her to consider, and she's applying it like right in the moment. I mean, it's pretty special. So we have 2 special players here, and it comes down more than just the talent; it's the professionalism, and so that's a credit to her, and we're glad she's here.
Just one more for me, sticking with you, Sydney. On the last play of regulation where you're trying to win the game and Slim drives, and Shakira has the putback that doesn't go either.
Yeah.
With Slim not having her best shooting night, what were you thinking, in that timeout as you decided, what I'm going to draw up, what I want to get?
Trying to see if they would take a chance at coming off of Sonia, which they didn't, and so then with that it would allow Slim to get a little bit of an edge and get downhill. And listen, she shoots the most free throws in the league. She's got an ability to get there. Also mentioned to Kira to follow it up. So things worked out. They don't always work out that way in terms of the looks. You just just didn't convert. And instead of putting our heads down, I'm just so proud of them rallying and trying to figure it out in overtime.
Sonia, on top of the shot, you covered Paige for pretty much the entire game, and then you ended up covering Enrique there for a while. But the amount of energy that it takes for you to go and cover Paige for the duration that you did and limiting her, especially in the first half, what was that matchup like with you as you were covering her, and then she was also matching you up on the other side as well?
Yeah, I mean, I think it was a great matchup. I know it goes back to college. I guarded her a bunch, and I mean, she's just an amazing player. You know, she's really going to make you work, and she's going to pay for your mistakes, which I think she did at times. But yeah, I mean, it's just she's a great player, so I love to match up with her. You know, see how I do. I think it's competitive, but you know, she's one of the best players in the country, so it's a fun challenge.
Sydney, in the first half, you got called for that technical. Could you kind of just walk us through kind of what was happening, what led to that point for you?
I was really hoping we would get through this press conference.
Oh, no, I was coming back to it.
You know, it got to a point, you know, they shot 20 free throws in the first half. You know, I think we're a pretty good defensive team. And I just didn't see, I was really struggling to see the rationale on a number of calls. And, you know, I voiced my opinion, and then I thought that might have affected the whistle going the other end. And that's when I was just like, listen, they're not quitting on the game. Like, don't take it out on me, you know, or don't take it out on them, take it out on me, you know. And so maybe, you know, it's not my finest moment. It's not, you know, it's not something that I want to do regularly at all. But I just felt like there was an imbalance there that I just, you know, I wanted to let them know that I wasn't pleased with how it looked. And again, 20 free throws in the first half. I mean, that's just a lot. And I didn't think our defense warranted that.
This may also be for more of the players, but do you feel like that was maybe an inflection point for you guys to kind of get it back together and pull forward?
You know, I'm not so sure. I turn it over to them. I'll say this. You know, the Wings played well. They played well. And the officiating's officiating. They're trying to do their best. Like, but the game setting, all it is just a challenge for us to whether we're going to hold to our values or break. That's all it is. That's all it is. There's nothing more than that. And so what I'm proudest of is, you know, there's some stressful moments, and there was some, you know, chinks here or there. We held together. Like, our sisterhood can't take that from us. Can't take that from us. So I don't know if it was that moment. I think it's moments. You know, the three that Paige hit, that was a big one. You know, could have broke there. I mean, there's multiple times where we could have bailed on each other, and I'm just not seeing that. I'm seeing them hold together and continue to battle, and it's a good feeling, whether you win or lose. So that's how I see it.
Last one for Kiki. Keep talking about Sonia being a two-way player, but you also had 5 steals out there tonight.
Yes.
All right.
I could play a little bit of defense.
Just getting the opportunity to talk about your defense and how you were able to read what Dallas was doing to get those steals.
Yeah, I think for me, this was a huge game for me just in terms of getting back to myself. I wasn't the proudest of the way I played in the last 2 games, more so defensively than anything offensively. I've been in foul trouble, so just working with my coaches and seeing where I can be better, how can I avoid those easy, unnecessary fouls. So for me, I try to, something Coach always says is touch and ball. I try to be disruptive on defense. So I think I try to hone in on my defense, honestly, more today, and that allowed things to flow on offense. But just doing more, just not being one-dimensional, kind of taking a page out of Sony's book and let me play both sides of the ball. So yeah, I think it's just having a better awareness of there's so much more I can do and not limiting myself and putting myself in a box, but I truly believe it's, you know, the past 2 games just trying to be better defensively.
And I'd like to also add that she had 6 assists.
Thanks.
Kiki, you also had a season high in free throws attempted. Do you think that aggression and physicality in the paint was kind of a point of emphasis?
It was. I think I've been settling. I love my mid-range shot, but I think I can get to the basket a little bit more. The same way teams are getting me in foul trouble, I kind of today try to get other people in foul trouble. So just having that more of an awareness. I'm not going away from my shot, but understanding I don't have to settle for that. I can get to the basket. But yeah, definitely we'll be working on my free throws. So Yeah.
And Sonia, you also had a season high in rebounds. Do you think that was just hustle, or was that just emphasis in playing transition, or something else?
I'm just trying to be more like Kiki too.
Oh.
Just trying to be a two-way player. No, I think there was a big emphasis today on how good of a rebounding team they are. You know, they're 1 or 2 in the league in overworks. So there was just a big emphasis on boxing out, and I know that our posts are handling a lot down there, so kind of just wanting to help out.
Thank you.
Coach, tonight was obviously a team effort with a lot of players scoring over 15 points, 4 in particular. What can you say about having that many players contribute?
I think it just shows, you know, the growth of the team in terms of moving that ball. I think it demonstrates how much they're trusting and believing in each other. And then, yeah, you gotta make some of those plays. So, you know, just the ability to finish off, whether it's a layup or kick out 3. So there's some talent in there as well. But I think the belief, the trust, and the buy-in in terms of how we're hoping that they'll approach the game on the offensive end. I think all of those things are showing themselves off.
And before the game, you talked about wanting to focus on what Dallas does well and trying to mitigate that. Were there any areas you feel that you did that well?
Well, I mean, you know, Paige went for 20 and Enrique went for 27. So, you know, I don't know how, you know, we really try to lock in on them now. You know, we try to make them work. You know, Paige did some good things there, but I thought we made her work. I thought we made Enrique work. They were top of mind. I do think that we did a good job defensive rebounding, you know, and like Sonia said, we talked to the group a lot about their offensive rebounding percentage. So that was good. And then I'll have to look at the film again. I'm looking at transition points. That's another thing that they do well. So 2 out of 3 ain't bad, you know, and I'm glad we made just enough plays defensively to squeak it out. Is that it?
No, I can go. Sonia, how can you tell us what about Paige makes her such a tough cover?
I mean, I think she can kind of just do it all. She's a 3-level scorer. If you go under, she's going to make you pay with a 3. She has kind of an unstoppable pull-up shot, you know, and then she can also take it to the rim. So I also think she's a great off-ball. The way she moves, like she got me a bunch of times on the back door just reading how I was playing her. So she's just a very smart all-around player. You know, it's hard to stop her. You really just, like Coach said, just try and make them work for it. But there's no really like shutting her down or anything. So.
Last question to Kareem.
I want to ask you too. Tyler kind of asked Sydney about the tech, but have you guys ever seen him that mad before? And kind of what does it do to y'all?
Watch how you answer that question.
I'll let Sonia go first.
And what's the juice kind of like after you see him kind of have that reaction? But for real, have y'all seen him that mad before?
I wouldn't say that I've seen him that mad in game before. And I think that was, I mean, obviously, it was cool to see. I think it made me a little like, you know, he's riding for us, so we're going to ride for him. So yeah, I don't know, it made me kind of a little hype.
Yeah, I'd say the same. I would say honestly during games, Coach is the one that's calming us down. So it was, I think honestly, it just showed how much he cares about us, how passionate he is. He just wants the best for us, and he truly believes in our team. So I think for us, it was just a motivating factor. Like, okay, Coach has our back. Let's have his back as well, and kind of use this as energy. But yeah, I think, you know, Coach always just has our best interest in heart. So we kind of just took that on the chin.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.